Oh, yeah, it's time for a little bit of intellectual anarchy with James Salazar. That's me, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. Hi, how's everyone going? As you know, the election's right on our heels, right on our ass, nipping at our butt, nipping at our heels. When do those go together? I don't know. And seems that the Democrats liked to put up people that are suspect. Look at Joe Biden had a good plan against Donald Trump. That he wasn't going to engage, he was going to hide in his bunker and not do rallies and not do debates. He did one debate and that was it, instead of 3, which is normally done. And he knew and he betted on, and that was a good bet, that Donald Trump was going to put his foot in his mouth. And we knew that people were just going to have fatigue over supporting Donald Trump. They may have liked him, but they weren't privileged or didn't understand the middle people, the people who actually choose the presidency, because the left is going to vote for the left and the right is going to vote for the right, and it's the people in the middle who vote for president, who get the president in. And they really don't know the issues as much as the left and the right. They're not obsessed with it. So they pretty much come in with the least amount of knowledge and picking the winner. It is what it is. They get excited about a week, maybe if you're lucky a month before, just hear the issues, not hearing the what will be the end result of those issues, and they vote, and whatever happens, happens. And those people just got fatigued over supporting Donald Trump. They voted for him, but they just didn't want to deal with it no more. They didn't realize how shitty Democrats are running things, or would run at things. They couldn't possibly fathom how shitty our president is, and how bad the Democrats are, and how they focus on all the things that people really don't care about right now. And they voted Joe Biden in with this tactic. Hide, let Donald Trump put his foot in his mouth, and we might win. That's exactly what happened. There's extreme buyer's remorse. Right now, people would deal with a thin-skinned baby who's easily offended and can be a bully at times. They'd rather deal with that than deal with a recession. So this is what the Democrats are going into. And unfortunately, the new race is going on, especially between Oz and Fetterman, because we knew, and Joe Biden's plan, let me just go back to that. Joe Biden's plan knew that he had cognitive decline. He wasn't going to be very good in rallies. He wasn't going to be very good in debates, so he limited those to practically nil. And after him winning, we have been dealing with that. Seeing him with his cognitive decline, people are embarrassed that he's our president. You know, Donald Trump ran the economy and ran the country well, but he was embarrassing. He was. And you know how embarrassing you have to be more embarrassing than Donald Trump. Pretty bad. You got to be pretty bad, because Donald Trump made you cringe. But Joe Biden, it hurts to see him talk and to see him stumble and mumble, literally shaking one person's hand, that person going to the next person, shaking that person's hand, and then him forgetting that he shook that person's hand. The guy comes back around to go shake these people's hand, and he puts his hands out there, and he acts like the guy's dissing him because he forgot in 5 seconds that he already shook that person's hand. There's cognitive decline. Anybody who says there isn't are lying to themselves, or they have a special kind of stupid going on. Sorry to say. I don't know. Maybe they have cognitive decline. So fast forward to the 2 races that the media is focusing on. And granted, the Democrats wish the media, who pretty much is on their side, is now focusing on 2 races that are important. And one has cognitive decline, and the other doesn't want to debate. The Oz and Fetterman, the man has had a stroke, and he's can't. A stroke is a serious thing, if you do not know, and it's not cognitive decline like through old age. It is an actual medical trauma to the brain, blood clots, destroying parts of your brain or damaging to the point where you can't even do your job. And he can't do his job. His wife has to save him. Jill Biden and Fetterman's wife have to step in and direct them and tell them what to say and protect them from questions. And the Democrats don't know that the people are weary of this type of thing, of people who are not physically able to run. Hillary Clinton was fainting all over the campaign for Donald Trump. When she was going against Donald Trump, she was fainting at every city, and they're acting like, no, it didn't happen. Now they're just up in front. They'll let some guy who had just got a stroke try to run. And Dr. Oz, who probably couldn't win in that state because it's more left, it's more blue, is probably going to win because they put up somebody and they think they don't care. And they don't care. I don't know why they don't care. I don't know why they think they could just put up these people and expect to win. Well, it won against Donald Trump. So they think there's not going to be a problem now. And it is the same problem that the Republicans had. They said Donald Trump won. Why wouldn't he win again? Because the way Donald Trump talked to people fatigued the middle voter. And Democrats are not gauging the fatigue of cognitive decline candidates. So I predict a loss. And then we have this other one. So the Arizona Senate race with Katie Hobbs and Kari Lake. Katie Hobbs does not want to debate. It is clear that it is coming off like she's afraid or she is not a good debater. And people can conclude many things from that. That she may not have a handle on the issues. And her position, because Kari Lake is a bulldog. If you've been seeing how she's been attacking the media for being biased, and they're just fumbling their words around her, and she's not putting up with any shit. And I think she would be mowed down by her. Not even because of the issues, just because her command of the English language and the ability to talk in a way that commands authority. So this girl's not debating, and that looks bad. People know the result of not hearing a person debate against another person. You end up with somebody like Joe Biden for not paying attention to those things. So because of the fatigue of that, people will pay attention to the person who is not debating. So I think these 2 elections are getting the most play in the media, and that makes Democrats look bad. Democrats going forward need to, I mean, their last great candidate was Barack Obama. Young, handsome, articulate, didn't do good things for black people. He seemed like a unifier. He became a divider because when you're part of a two-party system, you can't help but to start dividing against other people. Our values are so wide right now that there's no way you can be a uniter in this country. Ideas are going to have to beat other ideas. We're too far apart. Somebody's going to have to be wrong. And that needs to happen. And right now, the Democrats are wrong. Hey everyone, it's James Salazar with James Salazar Media. If I can just have a moment of your time to talk about some things that I'm doing and some free things I have for you. Let me talk about my Intellectual Anarchy show, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas, where we talk about philosophy, religion, and politics, because I think they're inseparable from having a successful life. We also have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about the belief systems and principles in being an entrepreneur. We also have the James Salazar Media podcast, where we talk about pop culture and politics and futurism. Some free things I have for you. We have the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where you come together with people with like-minded goals, where we maximize your illumination by maximizing your human potential. That's free. You just got to join. I also have a free ebook for you called How to Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. Just download that. That is free to you. Also, you can check out my coaching services and my speaking services at jamessalazarmedia.com. Everything will be in the show notes of this video. Also, I have a QR code right here. You can take a picture of that and it will link you to everything I have. So that's all I have to say. This is James signing out. Have a good one. So let's sum it up. I think for Democrats, abortion happened too early in the year, because this was the issue that was, if they were going to win, they were going to win on that issue. Half the country, well, a good amount of the country wants abortion to stay on the federal level. 4 states that don't want it to do it, instead of them going to the states and the states having whatever they want to do. And if you truly value that right, you can move to that state, right? It's what businessmen have had to do for the last 20 years, staying in New York and LA, in California, and in the state of New York. They had to move to a different state to run their businesses. Because they value their business. And if you value something like abortion, you're going to have to do that now. You're going to be forced to do that now if you live in a state that is no longer going to require it. So you're going to have to make a decision, a moral decision, whether you want to stay in a state that doesn't hold your values. Like I always repeat, I live in a state that holds probably none of my values, right? And I'm unwilling to leave because of my friends and my family, and because of the weather, because of the beach. I don't really go to the mountains, but I'm a city boy, and I am a suburb boy. I like living in the suburbs, going to the city, to eating nice food and partying, nice clubs. This is why I like California, but I know it's high tax, it's very unfriendly to business. It's very friendly to crime. It has the highest disparity between the rich and the poor, even though all the people who run it say they're not fucking failures at that. And a house for illegal immigration, which drives down wages, particularly for black people. And I am an LA first person, just like I'm an American first person. Whatever's best for LA, whatever best for California, that's what I want. And Democrats have the worst for them and the way they hold things. We can't have an open border and have people who are not citizens here use our resources. Let me tell you something. You can't be for legal migration if you are for illegal migration, because one undermines the other. You can't be for it. You're either for one or the other. I'm sorry it's black and white like that, but it is. You can't say, don't do that, but then let everybody do it without any punishment. And at the end of the day, we are preventing change in Mexico. You see, if people had to stay in their country, there would be a revolution in Mexico right now. Or would have happened a long time ago if they knew there wasn't an option to leave. They would. They would force change there. There would be riots in the streets. There would be protests. And they would have to make the changes. But as long as America will take all the people that are starved economically from Mexico, there'll never be a change in Mexico. How would they be? They all come to America and they get the life that's better. Mexico has all the resources, all the ability to become an America. They do. Most nations are, but they choose not to be. They choose to be overly corrupt. And don't get me wrong, America can be corrupt, but we're the least corrupt. Can't control it completely, but there's a place where it thrives and lives and goes crazy and it's in your face. Like Mexico, right? Cartels run Mexico, right? We know this. I don't know why I went on that tangent. Yeah. So I live in California. And that's it. And I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. And so, yes, abortion happened way too early. It happened way too early for Democrats. If it happened right now, it may have turned the tide against the Republicans, but it happened late, and people's pocketbooks are getting dinged. People are getting less wages. People are losing their jobs, and people are losing their cars, and people can't get a car, and people can't buy a house, and the rent is too high, and the food's too high. And people are like, I gotta get my head above water before I can worry about this other thing. And this is why I think Democrats are going to lose. And they really need to do some soul searching. They don't need to be taking on things that destroy the family structure. When you say that any woman could be a man and every man could be a woman, then what you really are saying is that it's not, mothers are not important. And fathers are not important. And we know through statistics what happens when there is a kid in a fatherless home. All the worst statistics are against them. I can't imagine what would happen if there's no mother in the home. Disaster personified. So, my friends, nothing's really going to happen in California, where I'm at. These people just vote Democrat. Their kids can be shot in the street, and they can be losing their jobs, and they can barely afford things, but they'll still vote Democrats because they got a handout for them. And granted, Republicans are not going to do anything for you. They expect you to do things for yourself. And that's because, and in that way, they're not going to try to sell you something that is not true. So, I mean, I'm not a Republican, but they are closely aligned to my values. But I can never vote for them, and I can never be one. But I definitely couldn't be a Democrat. I could not be a part of a group of people that if I do worse, they get stronger. But if I become self-reliant and independent from government, the Republicans do better. Well, I love myself too much to be a part of that. Have a good one.